Hello, welcome, good morning, good evening, and this is Social Q. Please don't call us Pink because we do not want to start a fight. We actually want to start a conversation. My name is Gilberto Morales. I'll be your host. This is my co host, Noah Pagan.
Oh, sorry, my voice cracked a little bit.
All right, this is the introductory episode, so we're not actually going to talk about a topic. We just want to introduce ourselves and introduce this podcast as a whole. Noah, do you want to explain to the viewers yourself, how you got into this, and why you wanted to do this?
Okay, so I got into this because, um, progressively, I mean, sorry, that was a pun.
I'm gonna
Um,
ding a bell every time you make a pun.
I got more interested in, or not interested, but more concerned with politics and like trying to get involved in all that. I mean, I guess maybe since 2016, but I really don't think I became progressive up until maybe like 2017 or 18. I mean that's when I started like identifying myself as that. Before that, I was just more like independent and didn't really identify with a party or anything like that. But I always knew I wanted to. I mean, since probably this election cycle, I've been wanting to start some conversations and I've sort of been inspired by some of my inspirations. I said inspired twice. Like Secular Talk and the Humanist Report and other YouTube leftists that are really cool. And I thought it'd be cool if me and my friend Gilbert started our own thing and had some conversations with some people maybe on our in sort of the local area in Springfield, and also just do the normal sort of talk about the left spin on things, um, and point of view on things. Um, I guess concerning whatever topic we're thinking of, or just our own perspectives on things. So, and also part of that, I mean, I guess this is also partly where me and Gilbert are also trying to start at YDSA on our campus, and MSU. We go to MSU, so that kind of coincides with.
Yep, we're just a bunch of college kids with the dream of, I guess, making this country a little bit better than it is now. So I guess it's my turn to introduce myself, as I did in the beginning, but I will do it again. Name's Gilberto Morales, go by Gilbert. I got involved in this because back in 2016, like Noah, it was my first time actually thinking about politics. Before that, I just ignored it and just left it to the old people because I thought it was an old person thing. But then when I finally turned 18, I realized that there's so much power in the young voice that we actually need to pay attention early on in life in order for us to understand it at the time we are eligible to vote. So, I didn't know much of it. I didn't care. I will admit I just was not that interested in it. And during my time at the university, I kind of gradually gotten more involved because of how terrible I heard like all the local and state and national politicians were at their job. They were just awful people, and they weren't doing their job properly, and it felt like everyone was dissatisfied with them. And I was wondering, like, why is this the norm? Why are you okay with being with just
Swindled.
with just being swindled and hating your local politicians, your state politicians, and your federal politicians, which is I guess the national one. Um, and so eventually, I decided I wanted to get more involved with politics in a way, and Noah and I were just just slowly getting into it in this town, and this being a red state, we kind of uh, kind of got the opposite of what we were hoping for in terms of good politicians. we could
yeah.
find. There's very little, but they're popping up more progressive people, and we're definitely more left leaning than the usual Democratic liberal person, because we feel like there shouldn't be a compromise. We feel like there should be just a complete takeover of what the norm is, and what the centrist and right-leaning people think of as the norm. The reason we're doing this is I've always wanted to start a podcast. I didn't know what when I was younger, but I always knew I would get involved in podcasting. I always thought to go into radio, but that dream is long dead because the radio is slowly dying, and I'm not much of a personality on the radio, so I don't want to.
Your personality in person.
Yeah, I guess so. So it's just it felt like the right path, podcasting. So I didn't think it would be about politics, but I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with any other topic, really. Next order of things, we're going to talk about what this podcast really is. I hope you caught on by now that this is more of a left-leaning podcast, and this will go on YouTube, and hopefully we can get it organized to be on Spotify and other streaming services for audio. But for now, we're going to put it on what we know is a reliable place to put it, and we hope that a lot of people are interested in what we have to say.
By the way, shout out to Cori Bush for winning her primary up in St. Louis. That shit's awesome.
Yes, we will be updating everyone on the current spectrum of nominees and people up for office and offices up for grabs. So please get involved in your local politics as well as your state politics, because those two we feel are the most powerful when it comes to getting involved in elections and politics in general. National, you're informed like 24/7 on national, and you can like find studies and articles and stuff like that on anything. But local and state are very difficult to get involved in because they don't have that much of an update to it. So please get more involved.
Yeah, honestly, I would say it's very important that we start electing people who are either DSA people, progressive Democrats, or left-leaning independents into really, really super local offices. I think that's super important and I think people are starting to see that with the pandemic, because local governments actually do have a lot of say in how we live our lives, or lives, not lives. That I think is super important and shouldn't be overlooked. And I think it's also good because it's a stepping stone to bigger things. So don't forget about that. Don't forget about these local elections. And if you're thinking about running and you're progressive or you're socialist or whatever, like a left-leaning person, then please do it, because we need that.
Please do.
Especially in red states, we do need that.
Yeah.
Not to say that blue states are all good. I mean, that's not what the message I'm trying to get, but I think red states got it pretty bad in many cases. So,
well, yeah, for what we want to accomplish, I feel like if you're in a blue state, you're like, it's a little bit easier to convince.
Yeah, it's a little easier to convince people
about that,
because I mean, you've got the older folks who are like, I mean, honestly, there's a lot more. The older you get, it's almost like sometimes the more progressive you get for some people. Not always, but like, because people remember FDR and those policies and how good those were, or you get like hippie-ish type people. But like, I feel like a lot of there's a good chunk of older Democrats who are like that. But like, also the younger generation is a lot more left-leaning. So it's like, if it's a blue state, I feel like it's a little bit more likely to get those set in place. But like, for like a red state, I mean, I feel like a lot of people just aren't really they don't really know like what can be done.
Yeah. And if you're wondering why we don't just move to a blue state and just change politics there, and make it big there. I feel like if you don't go for a bigger challenge than what everyone else expects, then you're not going to get much change
I mean,
out
yeah,
of anything.
I agree with
So I feel more comfortable being in a red state because then you have the opportunity to find someone with a different perspective than you and be able to have a conversation with them.
that. Yeah, and also if you win in a red state with the rhetoric that we have, then you can definitely win in a blue state, and that just it sort of makes your arguments better. It sort of makes your
Exactly.
your political power more potent because it's like shit. Well, people in red. I mean, Charlie Booker like almost won, and I understand that's like weird to say like, oh, he almost won, but he didn't win. But like the fact that dude was in a red state, and the Democrat he was challenging is basically a Republican. I mean, not left leaning Democrat at all, centrist or a little bit more to the right.
Yeah, and we'll get involved. We'll talk about that type of thinking in a later episode.
But yeah, I mean, the fact that happened, it's a pretty big deal, and I think that it shows you what progressives can do in different. I mean, in those settings. I mean, a lot of people, the centrist Democrats will look down at progressives and be like, well, you can't win without going to the right, in your political policy. Like, and it shows you like you don't have to do that. In fact, it probably is better that you don't because then you're giving more variety to the voter and that you're showing them what they want, But anyway, that's my tangent.
Okay, so to wrap things up, I know this is a short episode, but to wrap things up for this one, Social Q is meant to encourage those who feel discouraged from the political landscape that they are aware of, and to inform people that it's not just always about compromising with a terrible decision. There are right ways of doing it, and there are left ways of doing it.
Okay.
That sounded awful. That sounded awful.
Right isn't like correct.
And so we want to open up the discussion and be able to hopefully change a couple minds. I mean, that's our goal. We don't expect to. Like, if we get like a complete neo-Nazi to come and get interviewed and be able to convince him to join our movement, that would probably be the highlight and probably
obviously drop the neo-Nazi views. But.
Yeah, and and be able, that would probably be the biggest accomplishment we have for this show. But for the small victories that we have, we want people to feel educated and informed and well represented in their in their political viewpoints. And so we're okay with speaking out and being someone's voice if they need to, and we're okay with having those hard conversations with people that others feel uncomfortable with, and we will try our hardest to respect everyone we talk to and everyone we talk about. With that, Noah, do you have any final words?
Anybody's interested in coming onto the show who's like a local leftist in the community, anything like that, contact us. And stay tuned because we got some interesting stuff, and we're planning on talking about a lot of things, and we have at least some interviews that we're thinking about. So stay tuned. We'll probably be talking to some libertarians because we know some libertarians, and that'll be an interesting conversation.
Oh, I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. I don't know. I feel like they're going to be a little bit smug to us, but I like them. They're nice people.
They are nice
people.
But
when
I love their attitude, and it's just always fun to talk with people like that.
Yeah, whenever they tried to debate me, I got really nervous. I was like really crappy at debating. I was like, oh no. But anyway,
and that's okay. If any of you out there feel like you're a shitty debater or you cannot express how you want to feel, stick with us, and we'll probably be on the same journey as you, only on a bigger spectrum. So So stick with us as well, please. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Again, my name is Gilberto Morales, here with Noah Pagan on Social Q. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. What's your Twitter handles again?
Mine is Noah Pagan 12, literally.
Okay, and mine
NOAHPAGAN 12. And I think there's for some reason a capital N in that. I need to change that.
Does that matter?
It does matter, actually.
Oh, it does.
I figured that out.
Is there another Noah Pagan 12?
Yes, I accidentally made another Noah Pagan 12 account without a capital. I don't use that one anymore.
So it's you, though.
Yeah, it's you. Both of them are me, but one of them I don't use anymore. So whichever one has the most recent tweets, that one's mine.
Wow. Okay. All right. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @GillyMorals. I guess no capitals since it matters.
Yeah, it does matter.
No space. And I do follow back. Yes. No, it doesn't. He doesn't. He's too smug.
Yeah,
He's
I'm too
upper
smug.
class.
Yes, the whole comment about the libertarian thing, I'm actually the smug one.
Yes, he'll be the uptight one.
I'm too important to follow you back unless you have a follower count that is mine or exceeding it. So,
yes. All right. Thank y'all for listening. See you next time. Social Q out.